beat the snow from Philadelphia. We came in last night. We got it done.
I want to say hi to all my fans in Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yes, certainly the weather is much better down here in Clearwater than it is back home. We hope everybody's safe as they get a chance to watch a little Phillies baseball against the Boston Red Sox. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Ben Davis. This is the kind of day where Ben needs some extra material in his hair because it is windy down here in Clearwater, Florida. All right, so the lineup today for the Phillies looks like the opening day lineup, some pieces of the opening day lineup, and that includes Cesar Hernandez at second base. And Cesar had an excellent year last year.
Yeah, much like I feel bad for all the parents that had to stay home with their children today and be indoors, I feel bad for the opposing teams that Cesar Hernandez faces because he is an on-base machine. Last year, a 373 on-base percentage, career 357 on-base percentage. It's exactly what you want out of your leadoff guy. Now, I think his defense is definitely under the radar. He plays a very good second base. He can steal you some bases, but what he does at the plate, he sees so many pitches. He really is the table setter for this ball club.
And Gabe Kapler has not indicated who his leadoff hitter will be this year, but there's a pretty good chance that it will be Cesar Hernandez. Now, we talk a lot about sabermetric numbers, and one of the newer numbers that have been coming out the last couple of years are weighted on-base average, and Cesar among middle infielders was 5th last year, and he is in the elite category when it comes to that statistic. So one thing the Phillies do know is that Cesar Hernandez is going to be at second base, and John Maley also knows the complexion of his team.
The biggest thing the first year going in is really learning the players, and not just we can look at their metrics, we can look at their analytics and see, you know, how they make their routes, where they're successful at, but it's learning the person. And I think knowing if they're an audio learner, a visual learner, a kinesthetic learner, and then being able to build that rapport and that trust so when it comes time, when the bullets are flying in the dugout, when a new pitcher comes in, that they can trust you and give them the right information to help them.
Well, all that John talked about is also what the players are getting used to with his style and how he goes about things. And we can see just from those words right there that he has a rather intense approach, but obviously it is something that has been working for these Phillies hitters as they embrace it. Aaron Nola will be on the mound today for the Phillies. Yep, he's all stretched out and ready to go against the Boston Red Sox. They have a split squad, so they don't have a whole lot of their regulars here, but Justin Haley will be the starting pitcher today for Boston. Rhys Hoskins is indeed in the lineup today for the Phillies. He's got a couple home runs this spring so far, including that one there against the Tigers. His BP today was excellent, just like a lot of the other Phillies hitters. And hopefully these home runs will come in bunches for Rhys Hoskins in 2018. We'll get to lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Toyota. Save big all March during Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. the hitters this morning in a meeting over on the backfields. He's going to be here for the next few days, so we'll get a chance to talk to Schmitty, and he's got a chance to soak in the game from the dugout for this afternoon. Let's take a look at the Red Sox lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to SpeedTest.net. All right, so the Red Sox have a split squad game going down in Fort Myers. They're facing the Twins, so they didn't really bring a whole lot today as far as their everyday lineup goes, but they did bring Andrew Benintendi, who had an outstanding year last year. And Aaron Nola will be on the mound for the Phillies. Rick Kranitz said about 60 pitches today for Aaron Nola. And next time out, it'll be 75 pitches. So he is gradually building toward opening day, where he will be the Phillies' opening day starter.
Yes, he will. Aaron Nola, we know him 90 to 95. A good curveball, the much improved changeup. 12 starts last season of 7 or more innings pitched, 2 earns or fewer. And he just seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah, his strike percentage was up last year, which is, it's always high, but it was up last year a couple percentage points to nearly 66%. Kevin Bowles is the AAA manager for the Red Sox from Pawtucket, and he is managing today. Alex Cora is back with the other Red Sox players in Fort Myers. Rusney Castillo, the 30-year-old, will lead things off. He's hitting .318 this spring. Now the first pitch of the spring is in there. We're underway, and the count is 0-1. Castillo has been somewhat of a disappointment for the Red Sox. They signed him to a 7-year, $72.5 million contract when he defected from Cuba. And just hasn't been able to put it all together. And now the outfield is pretty much set for the Red Sox. I mean, at least the way it looks right now. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
I think that outfield is set for a lot of years to come because of their youth.
Unless they decide to trade one of them for a starting pitcher down the road. But yes, they are. It's young from left to right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Castillo, who will be followed by Benintendi. And a breaking ball that just misses.
Is it me, or are there a lot more split squad games in spring training this year?
That's a good question. I don't know what the numbers usually are. I would think it's even, but there might be.
It just seems like there's a ton more this year.
On the outside corner, 1 away. So first strikeout, and the wind is whipping today. It has been whipping since midnight last night. I mean, the storms that came through here aren't like what we're experiencing back home, but they're pretty hefty. Gabe Kapler's team is 4-8 so far this spring after the off day yesterday. Here's Benintendi. He's having an excellent spring, 8 for 17 with 2 home runs. They said he has put on 20 pounds of muscle from last year. He does look a little thicker than he was a season ago.
It's a lot of weight. If you're going to lose it throughout the course of the season, it's good to bulk up a little bit.
I think that was all our objectives this offseason. 2 balls and no strikes to Benintendi. A high fly ball to right field. Williams. Boy, the wind really has this one over toward the corner. He makes the catch. That carried pretty good too.
Yeah, for a ball that went straight up.
So 2 outs.
Look at this ball. I mean, it literally goes straight up and almost went out of here.
Well, Williams was able to track it down. Williams is looking to see where he should line up now with Rafael Devers coming up.
Just play on the track. He's way out there.
He does need to play deep. It's low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, it's very windy today. We had white caps on the golf today, and back home they have white snowflakes.
Yes, they do. Bouncing ball right side. Cesar with the big hop. After he stops the spin in his hand. A 1-2-3 first inning for Aaron Nola. Nice way to start. We'll go to the bottom of the first. back in the lineup, batting behind Michael Franco. Williams was off on Monday, I should say. Left Sunday's game a little early. Here's Justin Haley. Haley this spring 1-0 with an ERA of 4.50. 18 innings last year in the big leagues with Minnesota. And an ERA of 6.00.
Red Sox 6th round draft pick in 2012. Really stepped across his body over the top.
First pitch up high, 1-0. Haley was selected in the Rule 5 draft prior to last season by the LA Angels. You know, a lot of times guys are selected and they wind up staying with just that team. But there are players, the Phillies had a player this year that they selected, Nick Birdie, that they wound up trading to the Pirates. But Haley was picked by their Angels, then traded to the Padres, and then eventually wound up with the Twins. And that's how he made it to the major leagues. But then was offered back to the Red Sox. So 4 different organizations last year. Fastball, and it's 2-2 to Cesar. Opposite way.
Take a look at Haley's deliveries. He's real quick with that initial step, quick leg kick, but watch how he goes really across his body. I wouldn't say it's as extreme as Jake Arrieta, but it'd be tough for a right-hander to pick up. Right-handed hitter, I should say.
Off the hands, looped out toward the third base line, and it's a foul ball. Devers just couldn't get his body turned around to make that grab. It's not the easiest of plays.
He's questioning that sun. We've seen the troubles that the Phillies and opposing teams have had with that sun, especially on the left side of the diamond.
All right, so Cesar gets some new life. Foul tip, and Cesar's down on strikes, 1 away. Yeah, that'll bring Santana to the plate.
90 seconds, number 41, Carlos Santana, first base.
He just climbs the ladder here.
Carlos 3 for 16 so far this spring, hitting a .188. On that fastball, it's up and away. It's 1-0. The Red Sox do have questions about their starting rotation, not the first 3 or 4. Well, definitely not the first 3.
Waiting for a concert.
For a ball up high. But they do have injuries that are plaguing the back of their rotation. Stephen Wright will not be ready for opening day, the knuckleballer. Sale, Price, and Porcello are on track, 1, 2, and 3. Pomerantz will be the 4th, at least it looks that way. To the right side, off the glove of Travis into shallow right field, and Santana has a base hit.
Carlos just out in front of this just a bit, but able to keep his hands back. Hit it sharply down the right field line. Probably a ball Travis should have come up with, but Carlos will take it.
Here's the rotation for the Red Sox. So Brian Johnson is number 5. Johnson and Hector Velasquez are battling for that last spot in the rotation while Rodriguez and Wright get healthy. And now Jorge Alfaro. And Alfaro hits the first pitch foul off the hands of a gentleman in the suite level. And it's 0-1. A lot of small bones in that hand that could be broken on a foul ball like that. pitch down low, 1-1. Alfaro is 5 for 12 so far in spring games with the home run. At the knees, 1-2. Hoskins waits on deck. But Santana at first. Haley pitched in the winter leagues this past offseason in the Dominican Republic. He actually fared pretty well. A lot of times guys go down, they don't throw a whole lot. You know, they'll throw 5, maybe 6 games. Well, in his 5 games, he was 1-0 with an ERA of 2.08. I guess you could see why somebody would, you know, take a flyer on him in the Rule 5 draft. But he's a big kid. He's 6'5". He's 225 pounds. He played for a big-time college baseball program at Fresno State. And there is some deception with the way he comes across his body, like you mentioned. In the air to center field. It didn't start there. That's where it's going to finish, though. Yeah. Castillo is under it. That started toward left field.
Left center, yeah.
So now 2 outs. And here's Rhys Hoskins. Inside, 1-0. Am I wrong, or the Red Sox wasn't their spring training jersey blue?
I think you're right.
I don't remember it being red. I remember the Sox being red. One ball and 1 strike to Hoskins. This is the Red Sox dugout. Yep. A lot of red going on.
A lot of red.
Red Sox last year finished at 93 and 69. They had the top record of the American League East. The Yankees finished 2nd, but they still changed managers, even with the success they had.
I think Joey will do well there. Alex Cora will do well in Boston.
Ball's pulled foul. Nice play by someone in the stands. See the standings from last year. Yankees 91 and 71, 2 games back. They made it to the postseason, went pretty far in the postseason.
You think that could be a 2-horse race, or do you think one of the other ball clubs could sneak in there?
I would be surprised if one of the other ball clubs snuck in, and only because of pitching.
Right.
Popped him up out towards second base. Lynn is under it and makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Phils. We're scoreless as we go to the 2nd. 18 and older. Go to Phillies.com right now to purchase your tickets. Top of the second inning, and Sam Travis will lead things off for the Red Sox. Travis so far 8 for 29 this spring. 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Like a lot of guys in this lineup today for the Red Sox, he did get some time in the big club last year. At 263 with no homers and 1 RBI, but he had 6 doubles. Well, he's firing strikes today.
Sure is.
Curveball. He almost got him offering at him. He did. Phil Cuzzy said he went around. So what a way. Second strikeout for Nola.
Take a look. Do you think he goes? It's a dandy of a curveball there by Aaron. I don't know.
Did have some bite on it.
It sure did.
All right, so one away, and Devin Marrero. He played in 71 games last year for the Red Sox. So far 3 for 17 this spring.
Wayne, you ready for fair?
Curveball outside, 1-0.
I had a lengthy, and I mean lengthy, discussion today with Rick Kranitz today about the starting rotation, what he'd like to see out of these guys. And he started it by saying, with the exception of Aaron. Says Aaron Nola has a very, very good idea, knows himself very well, but he wants the other guys to really just, it's more of a mindset, and we talked about this in our open the other day, but getting into a mindset to know exactly what they can do. Don't try and do stuff that they can't, but get into a mindset where they can, all right, I know I can do this. Just because a certain scouting report says something, that they don't have to go to it. They know their strengths and then pitch to their strengths. He said that's one thing that Aaron Nola does so well.
There's a strike. It's 3-1. How much of that is on the catchers, though, to understand
and that's what
that?
he said. He said, you know, we're trying to work with the catchers as well to go to these strengths. And I said, well, how can you get these guys to be more efficient? He said, I think if they work to their strengths, they're going to be more efficient and not try and do things that they're incapable of doing.
On the outside corner as Aaron continues to paint. It's 3-2.
It's obviously easier said than done. Say, oh, you have to be more efficient. You don't have to throw as many pitches. But if you get a guy down, just go for the jugular. He said that's one thing that Zach Eflin did yesterday. He said his slider was outstanding. Zach Eflin is not a guy that misses a ton of bats, but yesterday he was able to miss a lot of bats. And he said he got these guys down in counts. They had a simulated game, but they would get these guys down in counts, and he said, go for it, man. If you think you can do it, go for it. And if you have a certain pitch working that day, keep throwing it.
Well, Aaron's got his fastball working here today, and the location of that fastball. So 2 outs, and Jeremy Barfield, his dad Jesse was a big league player for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Yankees. His brother spent some time in Phillies camp. And Jeremy, who last year hit 28 home runs, 76 RBIs in AAA. But he's gone back and forth at times because he's played a lot of independent ball recently. From being a hitter to being a pitcher. He's a left-handed pitcher. A little low, and it's 2-1. And 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-2. They must not be picking up that fastball, because there have been a couple of them that Marty Foster has called that, I mean, they look like they're right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah. Everyone in the world knows he's going to get a heater right there. 3-1.
That's a breaking ball hit out to shortstop. Plenty of time for J.P. Crawford. An easy inning for Aaron Nola. He's faced 6. He's retired all 6, and we move on to the bottom of the second. Lights before and during the game. That's right. Group tickets are available. You can call 215-463-5000 or go to Phillies.com/group tickets. Group party areas are available in our all-new, beautifully renovated Bill Giles Party Suite as well. We begin the bottom of the second. Aaron Altair, Odubel Herrera, and Maikel Franco will lead it off. Aaron takes a little tight. 1 ball, no strikes. So far, 5 for 15. Two and 0. Back at Fort Myers today, the Red Sox are playing the Twins, and J.D. Martinez is making his debut with the Boston Red Sox. 2 balls and 1 strike to Altair. A high fly ball to center. Castillo is out there. 1 away. Let's go to Greg Murphy with Thomas Eshelman.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, he joins us down here in the left field corner. You'll be pitching tomorrow, so a little bit of a day off for you today. Let's talk about your first big league camp, because I would imagine when you got word that that you were coming, it had to be a pretty exciting moment, was it not?
Yeah, it was really cool. I was actually up in Philadelphia doing the educational program with everyone up there, and they sat me down and said I was coming down here for spring with the guys, and it was a humbling thing to achieve, and it's great to be here.
You know, but for those of us that watched you last year, probably not surprising to see you here in big league camp. You were the minor league pitcher of the year in the organization. What did you learn last year about yourself that allowed you to have such success?
I think it was just pitching with confidence. I think that was the biggest thing for me, and I mean, I had a great group of guys around me, as far as a lot of veteran guys and the coaching staff, and Georgie and Logan behind the plate too. So I mean, they're a big credit for my success, and but yeah, just pitching with confidence and being able to move the ball around.
You know, the book on you is just pinpoint control and not walking guys. Does that come very quickly in spring? Do you get that right away, or does it take some time to build that up?
I think that's where your off-season work comes into play a little bit. I think that in this day and age, you kind of come here with the attitude of being ready, and I think the first couple of days you get a little juiced up. I think the first time I put the pinstripe pants on, I was pretty juiced up, but Yeah, it comes, but I think by now you kind of everyone has their feet underneath them and feels pretty confident in what they're trying to do.
All right, the inning is going quickly, so we're going to play a minute with Murph. How's that? It is that time. If you could have, you had a super year last year, so if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I forget the name of the superpower, but I'd transport from a place to place without
one spot to another.
Exactly.
That would be great.
Yeah.
No traffic. That would be a good thing, especially down here. That would work. All right. You're a Cal State Fulton grad. You were a business major. Which one of your teammates would make the best business partner, do you think?
I got to go with Junior, Mark Leiter Jr.
Okay.
I think that
he gets a lot of votes for things.
He plays hardball, so you got to have one of those guys on your side. So he'd be the bulldog in the situation.
He would be the bulldog in the boardroom. I like that. All right, Mark Leiter Jr. it is. And finally, you're from Carlsbad, California. That's where you grew up. That's the home of Legoland. We all know that, right? So what's the coolest thing that you've ever built with Legos? Everyone played with Legos, right?
I was a Star Wars guy when I was younger, so I would always build the big spaceships that they had going. So that was the coolest one. I bought a set of the Star Wars, and it was just like a spaceship set. And
like the Millennium Falcon or something?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, I like it. All right, bonus question real quick. What hurts more, when you step on a Lego or step on a seashell down at the beach?
I got to go with seashell on that one. Yeah, they're sharp, so they'll stick in your skin. Yeah, Legos, you like walk it off. But
I don't know. I have some Lego injuries from when I was a kid, but all right. Well, Tom, it was great talking to you. Thanks for spending a minute with Murph as well, and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow pitching, so good luck tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
All right, Murph, thank you. That was a really fast minute with Murph.
Murph, I could not agree with you more about the Lego. That should be some form of torture, making someone walk barefooted on hardwood floor and step on Legos.
I know. I've stepped on many a Lego. It's not fun. Not fun.
Why don't you get them to clean it up? Then you wouldn't have to step on them.
Valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point.
Murph, way to help him out with the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, how about I was proud of myself for being able to pull that, because I'm not much of a Star Wars guy, but I do remember that one.
Their answers have been awesome.
They really have.
They really have.
These guys are, they're sharp. They get it.
They're sharp as far as game shows go. Here's Nick Williams, and Williams takes a pitch outside, 1-0.
He got caught up in a minute with Murph and missed that beautiful swing by Mike Hill. That bullet off the right field fence, hit it so hard he couldn't get a single.
Well, there was no shot. I don't know if anybody would have gotten a double on that one.
No.
Maybe the guy at the plate. Sharply toward the middle, diving, stop by Lynn. That is an excellent play. 4-6 on the putout. A fielder's choice, no runs, one hit, and one man left. .com to purchase your tickets. We move on to the top of the third inning, and Zue Lin will lead things off. He just made a stellar play out at second base. Lin, who did get to the big leagues last year, hit .268 with no homers and 2 RBIs. He was born in Taiwan. In fact, originally back when he was 16 years old, he signed a contract with the Yankees. But then the Taiwanese Baseball Association said that if you don't finish high school, because he hadn't finished high school, then you will be banned from everything and anything in Taiwan as far as baseball goes. So he finished high school and he made himself a few extra dollars along the way, because then the Red Sox signed him for $2.05 million. The Yankees were about $600,000, $700,000 that they had offered him.
That's the thing about these international players. I mean, they may look good at a tryout, you know, but you offer them a boatload of money. Sometimes they pan out, sometimes they don't.
Curveball, and it's 2-2. Well, I mean, the Red Sox have that in the lineup today. I mean, they have Castillo, 7 years and $72.5 million.
I mean, that is a lot of money.
Over to the left side, picked up by Franco. And then he zips it across the diamond. I think Carlos Santana was saying, throw it, throw it, throw it.
Kind of caught him off guard. And he got caught for traveling.
Sowski hitting 176 for the Red Sox this spring. He did get up to the big leagues as well. Boy, they had a lot of roster moves last year. He had just 215 in AAA. That may have been a hair off the plate, but it was exactly where Alfaro wanted it.
Good change up there.
Here are the changes for the Red Sox. JD Martinez is the biggest of those changes. They lose Pfister, Addison Reed, who they had at the end of the year. Addison Reed is now with the Twins.
Get it in there.
Out to center field. On the run is Odubel Herrera, and he took a great route to that baseball. 2 outs.
And it's tough with this wind, but that ball struck well. See that ball going back over his right shoulder. You see how far this ball bends. The wind is a howling today.
Well, 2 outs, and here's Dan Butler.
Get it over there.
Butler has spent most of the last 5 years in AAA. $16 balls, 21 strikes. And just 37 pitches so far for Aaron. Swing and a miss. He got it with the curveball, and that's the 4th strikeout for Nola. 9 up, 9 down for Aaron Nola this afternoon.
And be sure to stop by the 201 Flats Kiosk for Section 119 to try their amazing tacos.
It has been really windy here. Not that anybody at home wants to hear that. Since about midnight last night. I mean, the storm that came through our area here did not knock any trees down at the Carpenter Complex, which is the minor league facility that is just beyond the left field wall. It is a gorgeous facility. Right there is a beautiful workout room, and there's cages in there as well. That's the newest addition. They put that in a few years ago. But the fans, they can see it from the berm. We begin the bottom of the third. J.P. Crawford will lead it off. And he fouls it away. It's 0-1. J.P. 4 for 12 so far. Mike Schmidt standing next to Charlie Manuel in the dugout. I think they're talking about hitting.
Maybe.
I talked to Michael today for a while, and he said that he enjoyed earlier today watching some of the drills that the team was implementing in the cage. Some of the hitting drills. He said they're very innovative. Ground ball to second base. 4-3 on the putout. Those are the drills that are implemented by John Maley, the hitting coach for the Phillies, and Gabe Kapler. He said he hasn't sat down one-on-one and talked to Gabe yet, but has talked to him in a group. But he said he had a good time today talking to the hitters. Part of what Gabe wants to do, I mean, I know he wants Jimmy Rollins to feel inclusive if Jimmy wants to come back, and obviously wants Mike Schmidt to feel inclusive. He's been good with Charlie with that stuff too. Larry Bowa has been here every day looking as if he's still on the staff. I mean, he's still firing out ground balls,
throwing BP.
It's been great to see.
Yeah.
Ripping through the sunflower seeds.
He's had that uniform on for how many years?
There's a fly ball out to left field by Cesar. And Benintendi will track it down. 2 outs.
A lot of late swings by these Phillies today. I don't think they're picking up Haley's ball either. We talked about Aaron Nola getting on some hitters. A lot of awkward swings here early on.
Well, here's Carlos Santana, who singled his first time up, one of 2 hits. Pretty good breaking ball. It's 0-1. That's Marcus Walden warming up in the bullpen. That's the Red Sox bullpen. Off the end of the bat, foul. I think the wind might bring this one back in play. Oh yeah, it did. And Butler makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Phillies go down in order. We've played our first 3. April games excluding opening day. 15 games in total for only $50. Tickets are accessed through the MLB.com ballpark app. Visit Phillies.com/springpass to purchase today. No scores. We go to the top half of the 4th inning. The edge of the Tiki Bar. Pretty busy today. That Tiki Bar is going to be so busy after the game today because this is a good crowd. Red Sox always attract some extra people, but you know, we're getting to the heart of spring training when attendance starts to rise even more. Rusney Castillo, who struck out looking his first time up, will lead it off. And a breaking ball pulled foul. The fleet-footed Rich Gedman gets out of the way over in the third base coach's box. Fly ball left field. Rhys Hoskins is going to give way to Odubel because the ball just blew back towards center. Yeah, there's one away. Time to take a look at our Toyota report. Some roster moves have been made by the Phils. They're down to 60 players in camp. They let some guys go down to minor league camp yesterday. J.D. Hammer, who we haven't seen pitch here, is going to go back and start firing down in the minor league fields. Down to 6 catchers, Ben. Can you survive with 6 catchers?
I think they'll be okay.
Here's Benintendi. Not a surprise that he took the hack at the first pitch. He put the first pitch in play 62 times last year.
Wow.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. If you know, you see a pitch you like and you go after it.
Might be the best one you have to hit the whole at bat. You never know.
He bunts toward third. It's foul. Nice catch by Jose Flores in the coaching capsule outside the dugout.
Yeah, today they only had 4 bullpens, so they just utilized the 2 catchers to catch them. But on Monday they had 10 bullpens with the off day yesterday. Guys had to get their throwing in. Dusty Wathan, the Phillies third base coach, said he's the one that assigns what catchers have to catch the bullpens. I said, oh, so you're the bad guy, huh? He goes, yep. Obviously, whoever's starting that day isn't going to catch any bullpens.
Right. Did you put the gear on?
I did not.
Were you tempted to?
Yes, always.
There's Dusty.
He definitely looks a lot thicker, does Benintendi, from last season, especially in his lower half. His legs look a lot stronger.
Swing and a miss. Well, that's strikeout number 5. 83 miles an hour on that pitch from Aaron Nola.
Change up there. Bottom just fell out of it. He has really taken a liking to that changeup, hasn't he?
It is remarkable how certain guys can pick up certain pitches without blinking an eye. And that'll be the first hit of the day for the Red Sox. As Devers is aboard. And the first base runner for Boston.
Good looking prospect here for the Red Sox. Good piece of hitting. That's a tough pitch, down and away. Try and pull that, roll it over. You know, you might say, well, how come it's taken Aaron this long to learn that changeup? Why didn't he throw it? If he was able to learn it over the last couple of years, why didn't he throw it earlier? He probably never needed it at LSU. 2 pitches, you know, above average fastball, nasty hook. I don't need a changeup.
There's a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. But if you're a starter, you need at least 3, right, to be consistently.
Unless, I mean, Randy Johnson was basically 2 pitches,
yeah,
but
John
he was.
Smoltz could throw a fastball, slider, and that's it. But
Yeah.
he had others, but. To Sam Travis. I think this is a good indication too how well Alfaro's calling this game. I mean, sometimes you have certain pitchers, it doesn't matter what you put down, it's going to be rock solid. Little dribbler out in front of the plate. Aaron's got it. He always fields his position well. And it's an easy inning again. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Red Sox. Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. Home half of the 4th inning. I think it's the most crowded we've seen the berm this year. Marcus Walden will take over on the mound. Walden has pitched in 3 games so far this spring, 7 strikeouts. Last year for Pawtucket, he was 10-6 with an ERA of 3.92. The little guy seems to be excited to have that baseball and that floppy hat. Can't wait until Mickey's wearing that Fanatic floppy hat when he's down here.
He's going to love it.
Make sure you tell Tag if he wants one, we'll get him one too.
He's not a big hat guy. I don't know why.
Alfaro fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Alfaro flied out to left field his first time, so he's 0 for 1. Not a bad 3 innings by Justin Haley, who went 3, allowed 2 hits and no runs. Struck out 1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Good life on that
Sure
fastball.
did. It was there for a second. Let's pitch at 94. In the zone, out of the zone.
That one's hit foul twice. But it remains 2-2. Walden last year at the age of 28 was the pitcher of the year for the Pawtucket Paw Sox, the AAA affiliate of the Red Sox. I mean, even though he had bounced around and has been with a handful of organizations, he still managed his highest win total at 10-6. And he strikes out Alfaro. One away. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, you know, we see different trends all around Major League Baseball and really all around sports at times. One of the trends you're seeing in Major League Baseball right now is the youth at the manager's position. There was a lot of openings over this offseason, many of them filled with guys that are very young, including the Boston Red Sox. You know, Alex Cora is not here today because they have that split squad, but if you take a look at the list, he is on that list of young managers. Kevin Cash, of course, just 40 years old. Andy Green as well. He's been managing for 2 years. He was the youngest manager. And then there's Cora and Kapler, both guys getting hired this year. 42 years and change old as well, and Mickey Callaway as well of the New York Mets. So young managers is kind of the new thing in baseball. Most of the positions that were open this offseason were filled by young guys like that. So interesting to see as these new ideas get brought to Major League Baseball, being brought by some of these young managers, guys.
Yeah, and they would be deemed young as far as Ben Lively is concerned. They are not old guys.
No, not 46 and up for old people. You know, it's hard to argue with the way my back feels right now. So.
1 ball and 1 strike to Hoskins. At a strike, it's 1-2. It is interesting when you think about some of the trends that Murph alluded to. You know, what's the trend going to be in 10 years? Because there certainly has been a switch in thinking and also in hiring over the last several years. And not even the fact that there are that many young managers, but managers that have no real major league experience.
Right.
I just hope we're trending towards old broadcasters. That'd be good for all of us.
Older broadcasters.
Older.
Right. Distinguished.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I think it basically is going to come down to whatever you think is going to get you the most wins and whatever you think you can build a ball club around.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And how that person can relate to the clubhouse, to that specific clubhouse. Low ball 4, so Hoskins works out a walk. And that'll bring Aaron Altair to the plate.
Designated hitter, Aaron Altair.
Altair flied out to center field his first time up. Ball with no strikes to Altair. Aaron last year played in 107 games, and that's only because he was dealing with injuries. His numbers during those 107 games, 272 with 19 and 65. You figure you pop 40 more games on that list, and just to be conservative. And he easily could have been a 25 home run player and can be.
You know, on that tear, he was hitting everything hard, using the whole field. Unfortunately, then had that problem with the hammy, kept him out of the lineup.
And then when he came back, it tweaked again.
Yeah.
It's a crowded outfield this year. There's no question about that. Bouncer foul off the netting. Knocked down by the spry Ben Lively. I don't want to say anything, but I think a 46-year-old could have corralled that off the net like that. Check swing. Did he go? Yes.
Man.
I am shocked when they don't ask for help, when the umpires don't ask for help on that. I think that was a tough one to call.
Take a look, see if he does go. He does not.
I mean, it's not even close.
No.
Oh, that's a bit frustrating, even though it's a spring training game. So here's Odubel. He grounded out to shortstop.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, you would live to see another pitch.
Well, and you may only have one more at bat.
Right.
And then you're done for the day. Oh, and 1. Drew Hutchinson warming up for the bullpen for the Phils. You know, Cranny said today that both pitchers will be around 60 pitches. And I actually was wondering if he meant Hutchinson. But I thought Hutchinson was going to be relieving. I guess we'll see when he comes out. We're getting deeper into the spring, where the list of pitchers that are scheduled to throw in a game is down to just a handful. There's some backups on there just in case. There's a base hit up the middle for Odubel. And Hoskins around second. The ball bobbled. Now he's going to head to third. The throw by Castillo cut off. And he put a little pressure on Castillo because he went in hard at second base.
We talk about Gabe Kapler's, one of his favorite expressions is value at the margins. Rhys Hoskins, go play left field, play a good left field and hit. Well, there's other things you can do, and this is one of those things. There's value here. He takes a good hard turn around second base, and all it needs is just a quick bobble by Castillo there, and that enables Rhys to get to third base. That's what you talk about with value at the margins.
Yeah, and you'll hear that a lot from not only Gabe, but also Matt Klentak. And we asked, you know, what that meaning was, the direct meaning was, and you just explained it very well. You know, everything that a player does right on an everyday basis is right down the middle of the page. And then the extra stuff is what's along the margins.
Exactly right.
So it's a base hit, E8 to Castillo, and the Phils have runners on first and third with 2 men down. Nola could go out for another inning. I don't know if he will. They want him at 60 pitches.
He's at 67 right now. MLB.com says. I don't think he was at that many.
I don't think he is. 57. So maybe, you know, maybe he's done.
Boy, he threw it well. If he is done. I can't imagine he's going to go back out if he's at 57. Maybe he will.
Ball gets away, and the Phils will get a run.
Exactly what we're talking about. And once you get to third base, obviously there's a lot of ways you can score, and that being one of them, a wild pitch. But that's all Rhys Hoskins right there. It's a fastball that Walden just spikes. Nothing Dan Butler can do back there.
Yeah, good secondary lead too. I mean, he would have scored anyway even without it, but a good secondary lead. All right, so the Phils up 1-0. They still have a runner in scoring position. The count is 3-0 to Maikel Franco. At ball 4 puts runners on first and second. Nick Williams is due up. We may get a pitching change here. Dana Lavangi is the pitching coach for the Red Sox with the big club, but we mentioned they have a split squad, so the major league staff is in Fort Myers, so the AAA staff is here with Boston. I said to Kevin Gregg, I said, does that mean that Bill Wanless is here handling the PR and media if the Pawtucket staff is here? Pimentel is warming up in the bullpen. And here's Nick Williams. Nick had a fielder's choice his first time up. The dirt. There's a fastball, and it's 2-1. On that one, 2-2. Crawford waits on deck. Check swing. He went according to the home plate umpire, and he flips the bat, and the side is retired. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Walden. It's 1-0 Phillies on top.
Yeah, he had all 3 pitches working, pinpoint control. That fastball, the hook was there, some really good changeups as well. But I like that the giddy up he had on his fastball today. Just bottom falling out of that changeup right there. He was outstanding. Well done, Aaron Nola.
Well, I should say this is the best anybody has looked, and with apologies to Mark Leiter. Obviously, Aaron Nola went deeper in this game than any of the starters, but Leiter's gone 7 scoreless innings as a reliever this year, which is tied for 3rd most among all relievers in minor league base or in spring training baseball. So Pat Neshek will take over. And Devin Marrero will be the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. How about this check swing by Nick Williams?
You can see Nick why he's so frustrated, because that's not even close.
It really isn't close. And Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, just called it a swing without asking for help. I just don't understand why they don't ask for help.
That's why they're down there. That's why these guys are down the bases.
I mean, the 2 that he called in that inning, I mean, neither one of the hitters went around.
No.
That one was more egregious than the other.
Good word.
Meaning to use it the last couple of days. Three balls and 1 strike. Marrero struck out his first time up. Out of play. Barfield waits on deck. Had a strike 3 called. Somebody yelled out check.
Don't know what Marrera's looking for. Good pitch. Nice to see Pat battle back after getting down at 3-1 in that count.
And now Jeremy Barfield, who grounded out to shortstop. Fouled it back. It's 0-1. Pat was very honest the other day when he did not find the strike zone comfortably. Gave up 2 earned runs, 3 hits in 1 inning against the Yankees. That's his only outing so far. One ball and 1 strike. The lefty Bobby Pointer. That ball is ripped deep to left field. It's going to stay in the yard, a 1-hop off the wall. Hoskins plays it well, but Barfield going to second base will get there. And he has a 1-out double. Reese did play it well. He didn't have a whole lot on the throw to the cutoff man. This is a bullet.
And just a slider that spins. Not a whole lot of bite on that. Barfield off the bottom of the fencing.
I think that's part of the step that Reese is trying to take is, you know, obviously making those throws with a little more comfort and a little more accuracy and a little more zip on them, because there could have been a play at second base. There really could have. But he's going through spring training right now as a hitter, but he's also going through it as an outfielder too. To the right side, Cesar gobbles it up, makes a nice play on the spin to first. 2 outs. Over to third goes Barfield. But I think as Reese continues to play the outfield, the arm strength will get better and better. And those throws and the footwork on those throws, you know, will enable him to make a cleaner throw to the cutoff man.
Absolutely. because that ball was hit so hard. He's going to realize that, hey, I might have a shot at these guys depending on the bounce that I get.
One ball and no strikes to Selsky. Pedro Beato has hopped up in the bullpen to join Hutchison.
That's a better one.
I think he's going to come back slower here.
The slider has some bite on it.
Fastball. He didn't come back slower. He came back quicker. And Selsky is down looking on strikes. The Red Sox leave one over third. March 24th. It's a 3.1-mile course that starts and ends at Citizens Bank Park with a loop through the Navy Yard. Register now at phillies.com/5K. Again, Saturday, March 24th. If you show up on the 14th, there's not going to be a race. Chuck's creeping a little bit. Bringing Pedro Florimano over. A little conversation. Bobby Pointer will take over on the mound for the Sox. Pointer last year, all he did between single A and double A as a relief pitcher was put an ERA under 2 together. That's it. 1 ball and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. He averaged more than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's not a big guy. He's 6 feet, 222 pounds. He led the entire organization in appearances out of the bullpen. And his spring numbers have been pretty good. He had 15 saves last year. Over to first base. It's a fair ball as Sam Travis will take it to the bag. 1 out. But now Cesar Hernandez. All right, so here's Cesar, who we talked about in the open. You know, he's batting leadoff here, even though there's been some experimenting going on. I think the assumption is that he's going to bat leadoff for the Phillies this year. And if not early on, he will consistently, because there's going to be a lot of different lineups, bat leadoff. You know, part of it is his success getting on base. I know he's hitting a .158 this spring, but his on base percentage last year was outstanding. And his sabermetric numbers, which we've talked about in the open, you know, the WOBA, which is the weighted on base average, is of an elite caliber. And also the weighted runs created, which also is a derivative of getting on base, was at the elite level. When we talk about elite, if you ever see the stat for WOBA, the elite level is 380 or better, and the good level is 350 or around that area, between 350 and 320. Ground ball toward the hole and picked on a hop, and Cesar's thrown out. These are the numbers that we talked about in the open, the middle infielders and what their statistics, where their rankings are or were last year.
That's some good company.
Change up, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlos is 1 for 2 today. He singled and he also popped out. Bouncing ball foul.
Ow.
Even with the brace, the guard, it's still Al, right?
It's still Al. They'll find a way to get you. See that ankle guard right off the top. Just think about how much it would hurt if he didn't have it.
Out to left field. And Benintendi will come in to make the catch. Phillies are retired in order in their half of the 5th. We go on to the 6th inning. 1-0 Phillies.
May have to do that read again.
Oh, that poor guy. He was enticed to do some ballet with the Fanatic. And then all of a sudden they started playing Dirty Dancing. Tommy Joseph takes over at first base. Cameron Rupp takes over behind home plate. And Drew Hutchinson is the new pitcher. Anyway, the Fanatic tried to jump into the security guard's arms. It didn't end well. So Nishak throws a scoreless 5th inning. Dan Butler leads it off in the 6th inning, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Butler struck out his first time up. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. And Butler's hit by the pitch, so a base runner for the Red Sox to start the 6th inning. First time today they had the leadoff batter aboard. This pitch just ran.
Yeah, that's about as badly as you're going to miss a spot. You see where Cameron was set up. Ball just gets away from Hutchinson.
Hutchinson now 27 years old, a non-roster invitee by the Phils to camp. He did not pitch in the big leagues last year. Fouled away. He did pitch in the minor leagues with the Pirates. He was 9-9 as a starter with a 3.56 ERA in AAA. 28 games, 26 starts. His numbers were really good across the board. His whip was very good. The walks and hits per inning pitched, 1.2. His strikeouts per 9 were pretty consistent to where they were the year before when he was in the big leagues. 0-2. Over toward third, fair ball. Franco off his back leg gets one over to first, not in time. Even just to get the one.
That's called knowing your runner. And that's part of thinking ahead. If this ball's hit at me, where am I going to go? I know I don't have a speedster on first base and the catcher, Dan Butler, but I mean, that is some arm strength to get that thrown off your back leg, going towards the third base dugout. See, Castillo does beat it, but that is some arm strength there by Michael.
Well, he gets the lead runner. And it brings Benintendi to the plate in what will be his final at bat. And he fouls it away. Cole Sturgeon has come on a pinch run over at first base. There he is. He looks like a young feller. Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Benintendi is 0 for 2. Both of his at-bats came against Aaron Nola. One ball and 2 strikes. Hutchinson mixed it up with the speed there. Rafael Devers is in the on-deck circle.
Does have a quick bat, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, that was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball that was up, and he was still able to make contact with it.
Gets through the zone.
He watched his walk rate jump a little bit last year compared to the minor leagues before, but not an overwhelming amount. 8% to 10%. He's up there swinging. He's not letting it get too deep as far as the count goes. In the dirt, Sturgeon's going. The throw sails into center field. I'm assuming that'll go down as a wild pitch. But Cabrera did have a chance to get him.
Yeah, this is a good play here on this breaking ball. It's very nice, but I think a little bit of panic sets in and realized that he had a little bit more time than he thought. Because he would have had Sturgeon at second base easily.
So now a runner in scoring position for the Red Sox. They had a runner in scoring position in the 5th inning as well. Phillies lead at 1-0. Aaron Nola today 4 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts. Ground ball right side off the glove of J.P. Crawford, and a run will score. Benintendi will get an RBI single. The Red Sox have tied it up at 1.
Straight away second base, but with this shift. See off the glove of JP, past Cesar, and Sturgeon scores easily from second base.
So Benintendi is done. Kyrie Washington comes on, a pinch run for him. And first pitch a strike to Devers.
35, Kyrie Washington.
Out towards shortstop. That could be 2. Crawford's got it. Steps on the bag. Throws to first and throws it wide. So it'll be a fielder's choice. 6 unassisted. That's second base, and the inning's still alive. Devers will be pinch run for here. Mike Olt will pinch run for him.
Just had far enough to go, and Washington putting some pressure on JP at second base, but just far enough where it's going to be bang bang at the bag there with Washington, and just makes the errant throw on the first.
Looked like he slipped off the bag.
Yeah. I don't know if he would have had Devers anyway.
Yeah, Devers was moving up the line.
He was.
Funny story the other day. Alex Cora was saying, "Yeah, I like everything about the kid, except that I wish he'd stop calling me sir." I mean, Devers is only 21. Pitch is in there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Travis. Excuse me. Travis is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he's grounded out. Could be a little different inning for Hutchinson if a couple of things had bounced a little differently. The run he's allowed is an earned run. Fouled away, and it remains 1-2. Travis is playing first base today. The Red Sox seem to be pretty much set at every position. It doesn't look like there's any competition for anything as far as their everyday players go. Particularly now with the addition of J.D. Martinez. And Travis is down on strikes. That side is retired. Red Sox do tie it up. Everybody was probably still thinking about the dirty dancing move made by the Fanatic. Look out. Oh, man, that cannot feel good. Regular season game live on your device, but new this season, all of our spring broadcasts are available as well, including this game. Download and install the NBC Sports app so you can stream the Phils all spring and summer. A beautiful crowd on hand today. Berm is filled up. Red Sox are one of those teams. They do travel well. Kyle Martin is the new pitcher for the Red Sox. 27-year-old from Austin, Texas. He's a big kid.
Sure is.
6'7", 230 pounds. Facing Cameron Rupp as we start the home 6th inning. Cameron pulls it down the left field line. If it's fair, it's going to be gone, I think. And it is a foul ball. And actually, it was short of the wall. I think it's going to be hard to get a lot of balls out today because of the wind.
Yes, indeed.
Although that one may have been toward the end of the bat.
I think it was. I like Cameron being aggressive, though, on that first pitch. Reliever coming in, you know he's going to want to get ahead.
Kyle Martin is one of the top 25 prospects in the Red Sox organization. Breaking ball. Let's see, he was drafted by the Nationals, by the White Sox, and then eventually out of Texas A&M by the Red Sox. 9th round in 2013. And he just struck out Cameron Rupp. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And Rhys Hoskins is coming up. Last year, Martin pitched in 2 games with Boston out of the bullpen. And an ERA of 3.86. Basically been a reliever his entire time as a pro. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. This is Hoskins' 2nd home run of the spring this past Monday.
And it was a loud one. Short swing there made a fan happy out on the berm.
In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sharp breaking ball.
Line drive caught over at 3rd by Olt. And 2 outs.
This is how you stay back on a breaking ball right here. Nothing you can do. Hit it hard.
They were talking about that today with Rhys behind the cage before batting practice. John Maley was, just to try to get him to, get back to a certain point and then release. Here's Aaron Altair. Altair is 0 for 2. Flied out and struck out. Rhys's day might be done after that at bat. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. One right off the glove of Butler. By the way, that catch made to 3rd base by Mike Olt. Olt was at one time a really big prospect, 3rd base prospect. Had 12 home runs 1 season in the big leagues. I guess never evolved into what everybody anticipated he would be. And last year spent the year in Double-A for the Red Sox. But you remember his name was being talked about in almost every trade that the Rangers were putting together. He was a first-round pick. Sometimes you look at some of the names that are on the roster and you're like, that can't be the same guy.
Right.
But now 29 years old and trying to make it with the Red Sox. That one's cued right back to the mounds. And it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Kyle Martin. We'll move on to the 7th. We're tied up at 1. Our game summary as we go to the top of the 7th inning, each team with 1 run. Aaron Nola was outstanding through 4 innings today, 5 strikeouts for the Phils. Michael Franco has a hit and a walk. Rusney Castillo was pinch run for, but his spot in the order scored the run for the Red Sox. Rhys Hoskins scored the run for the Phils, and Drew Hutchison will begin his 2nd inning of relief work and will do so against Devin Marrero. Devin Marrero, Jeremy Barfield. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned the Phillies made some changes. They cut down their roster. Drew Anderson went to minor league camp. Edgar Cabral, as that one's hit towards center, and J.D. Hammer were both assigned to minor league camp.
Designated hitter Jeremy Barfield.
Or reassigned, I should say. Drew Anderson was optioned. And now Barfield is coming up. Phillies have a couple changes. Adam Rosales has taken over at second base. There he is. And Dylan Cousins is in left field. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Marty Foster.
I think you call that on the pitch.
I don't know if he did. He pointed to him.
Did he?
Marty, no help needed. Foster behind the plate today.
It's a long middle name, Tom.
Yeah. It's also his confirmation name. Off to the right, not a play. It remains 2-2. Got him. Second strikeout for Hutchinson. And 2 away.
Looking slider there. A big swing there by Barfield.
Esteban Curez is the batter. He came on to play second base. He's got himself a wide open stance. A $176 this spring. Oh, 2. Well, Hutchinson has had some good velocity. And despite the fact that he gave up a run, he didn't pitch badly at all in that 6th inning. Oh, 2. Six-year-old out of Mexico. In fact, in the Mexican leagues this past offseason, he had 264 with no home runs, 21 runs batted in. He played in 59 games, so he got a pretty good amount of at-bats. As that one goes off the glove of Rupp. Last year he played for Yucatan in the Mexican League. In fact, his time as a professional has only been in the Mexican League. He spun himself into the ground.
Good breaking ball, back foot breaking ball. Not the best balance at home plate. I just don't know how he could ever get to a pitch inside. That open stance he closes off. He's already right on the plate.
Kind of an interesting story, though, Ben, the fact that he has never played minor league baseball. All of his playing time has been in the Mexican League. And he's 26 years old.
There you go.
Represented Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. Odubel gets to the spot, and it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Hutchinson. We are still tied at 1. Headed to South Beach and look to cool off the heat. Sixers versus Heat. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 over on NBC Sports Philadelphia, or stream it on the go like every Phillies and Flyers broadcast with the NBC Sports app. Our director Nick Marquetta got some airtime the other night. on the Sixers telecast, because you know Nick usually does the Sixers games, and Ala Abdelnaby and Mark Zumoff were wondering where the heck has he been. Well, he's been down here
and slumming it here in Florida.
Yep.
Let's hope that trip for the Sixers is better than it was for the Flyers when they came down here.
Here's Odubel to lead it off against Kyle Martin. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Jordan Prochin is the new catcher for the Red Sox. Odubel is 1 for 2. One ball, 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. 2-1. Looks like Hutchinson is going to pitch the top of the 7th inning, or I should say 8th inning. Bouncing ball softly out towards second. And Odubel is retired. 4-3 on the putout. Murph's got some breaking major league news that he wants to get to because we weren't on the air yesterday. Murph, what do you have?
Well, I try to keep my eye on all the big stories happening around the league, and I think maybe this is the biggest one, at least certainly this spring, because the Arizona Diamondbacks are celebrating their 20th season in Major League Baseball by bringing back the bullpen car.
That's right.
They are going to drive the pitchers.
Somebody had to do it.
I know, right? So they are first. They're the first ones to commit. Both the their pitchers
so awesome.
and the away pitchers are going to get driven in at Chase Field in a machine that looks just like that. I mean, talk about going back to your childhood, right?
Oh, man, that's another job for somebody right there in baseball. That's what we always say. There's a lot of jobs in baseball. You can drive the bullpen car.
I'm so qualified for that.
You know what? We saw Mario Andretti the other night. We should have asked him if he wanted to do that in his retirement.
Get them out there in 2 seconds flat.
That's diving play by Old. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Well, it certainly has garnered some reaction around baseball. You know, obviously some folks say it's silly, and you know, you can say that if you want.
It's
I think
great.
it's hysterical.
I'm hearing that the Red Sox are considering doing it as well.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing.
I wonder how the groundskeepers will feel about the cart being. And I know it's going to go on the warning track for the most part, but somebody's got to go rogue.
It's a golf cart. It's supposed to be.
Are they going to take them right to the mound?
Nah, well, usually, I don't know if you were probably too young, Ben, obviously, when they used to do it, but they used to stop right by the dugout. They used to get out. Sometimes it was, you know, it was when Nick Williams hit by a pitch. Sometimes it was a cart like that with a big old hat on top of it. And then other times it was a sponsor, like a car sponsor, that they would get into.
Didn't someone have a boat at one point?
Somebody had a boat. Yeah, I think it was in Seattle. I could be wrong,
right.
but I think it was in Seattle.
That's right.
They came in a boat. Oh, that's so great.
It is great.
You know, they should probably experiment here in spring training and see if it works. I mean, why not?
So you could park it right by the Delco sign where the fellas come out, and then just have them. Come straight in.
They put a Segway out there and have them come out in a Segway. They have to do it themselves, and then the manager has to drive it off the field.
You're an ideas man, Tom. I like that.
Yep. Mayonnaise and the tuna. They've got Nick Williams caught. Whoop.
Wow. Well, that was sloppy on both ends.
Sure was. So it'll go down as a stolen base. Castellanos says it's his fault.
I mean, Nick that's just poor base running on Nick's part, but then even a worse throw here by, he just panics and just airmails it. Castellanos had a lot more time than he thought.
And it looked like he had the angle too.
Yeah.
All right, so J.P. Crawford up with the count, 1 ball, no strikes, and a runner at second. And J.P. hits it off the end of the bat. And it drops for a base hit. Here comes Williams. He is safe.
What is going on?
He just kept on going. And the Phillies take the lead. It's 2-1.
I don't know if you can really say he manufactured that run, but
well, he just kept his feet moving.
What is going on?
There's got to be some circus music being played around here somewhere. Kyle Martin just pointed to the sky. He could have caught it without anybody bothering him. But generally, it's one of the infielders that should come in to call off the pitcher.
Pop-up priority. You do a lot of it in spring training. No one calling that one out.
Hey, how about the reaction by the coaching staff? I don't know if you could see it in the background when Williams scored and how aggressive he was. Runner goes. Throw to second base is in time. Looked like Crawford got his foot in there. Well, the feet of Nick Williams got himself in trouble, but then got him a run. Phillies take a 2-1 lead. That you're an authentic fan. Use hashtag authentic fan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and show us what makes your Phillies fandom the best. A little coaching going on in the dugout for the Red Sox after a very interesting inning. Phillies took a 2-1 lead. Let's check in with Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, I'm here with Aaron Altair. We were just watching that. That was a very strange play. You don't often see a runner score from second on a pop-up in between the pitcher and catcher, huh?
Yeah. With spring training, you never know what you're going to get. So,
exactly right.
Especially here, last couple of games we've had some balls that got in the sun and some pop-ups that have dropped. So, just keep running and you never know what happens.
That's right. That's what it is. That's all about baseball. All right, let's talk about your spring because, you've obviously been around now, obviously in big league camp and been up in the bigs. And when you come into spring training and you get ready for a year with with a lot of promise, I would think. What's the attitude when you first get here, and what's your mindset?
Mindset every spring is just to come out of it healthy. Just do what I can on the field and get my work in. But I think the main goal is just to stay healthy, get ready for the season. We got about 3 more weeks left here, and just about getting ready, getting your at bats, seeing pitches, and just getting used to velocity again, and just getting ready for the season.
There's obviously been some changes, with different philosophies being brought in by Gabe and his staff. What have you seen that's been the biggest difference, do you think, as you head into this spring?
Probably communication. He's done a really good job of communicating with the players, and he has lineups up like a whole week in advance, so everybody knows what to expect and when they're going in. And it's just it's nice to have that communication, just to so you don't get caught by surprise. I mean, obviously with baseball you can get caught by surprise anyway, but you know, it's just good to have that base of communication going on.
When do you get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go north. Let's have these games count for real. Are you there yet?
Almost. Give me about a week or so, and I'll be good.
I'm with you. All right. How about a minute with Murph? You ready to have some fun? All right. According to your bio in the media guide, you're a big fan of King of Queens. So I'm going to say, which teammate would be the best sitcom star?
I'm gonna go Odubel, just because you know, you never know what you're gonna get from him, and you know, he's always laughing, he's always having a good time. So I'm gonna go with Odubel.
I could see Odubel being the next door neighbor, and you know, he's just popping in with comic relief. I could see that. Okay, you're always one of the best dressed guys when we're on the road. You get on the plane, you're always looking good. So besides yourself, best dressed teammate.
Best dressed, man. I tell you what, I mean, I'm so far ahead of everybody else, you know. No. I'm gonna go with Nola. Nola gets it sometimes. Right. You know, he gets into a suit every now and then. So yeah, I'll give it to Nola.
All right. And finally, your last name, Altair, in German translates to old man. Okay, so which one of your teammates is most like an old man, and not necessarily an age?
I'm gonna go with Franco on that one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
why is that?
You know, he gets a little lazy sometimes. You know, he gets a little tired sometimes. You know, he's just dragging around the clubhouse. So I'm going to go with Franco.
All right, Miguel Franco is the Altair, the old man of the club. As Aaron, good to talk to you as always, and we'll talk to you soon. Guys, back upstairs.
Murph, you didn't ask him about the bullpen car, if he's in favor of a bullpen car.
I will ask him that. So we just talked about the bullpen car being brought back to baseball. Did you see the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to drive the... You like that? You like that?
I like it, yeah, sure.
You're too young to remember it from back in the...
I definitely don't remember that, but I think that would definitely help with the pace of play. You know, just getting guys out there quicker, and you know, I like the idea.
Yeah, I do too. Tom remembers it. I don't remember it. I'm much too young to remember that too, but Tom remembers it. So, right, Tom?
Somebody has more gray hair than I do. Base hit with 2 men down by Sturgeon, and that brings Kyrie Washington to the plate. First at bat for Washington. He came out a pinch run for Benintendi back in the 6th inning. No balls and 1 strike to Washington. Luis Garcia warming up in the bullpen. So we get a foul tip, and that it's 0-2. Runner goes. Pitch is cut out and missed. All right, so it turned out to be 3 solid innings.
He's looked excellent today. Drew Hutchison has thrown the ball really well. We're on in the bottom of the 8th. Fills up 2-1.
Normally do up above the light stanchions. They got nests everywhere. There is said nest. That osprey that was outside my apartment was not there today. I heard it, but I did not see it.
Some good numbers here for Kyle Hart.
Yeah, last year 6-5 at ERA of 2.15. Well, the Phillies have had 2 pitchers today. I mean, obviously Neshek threw well too, but the 2 quote-unquote starting pitchers, Aaron Nola and Drew Hutchison, both throwing well today. As Adam Rosales will lead things off. Adams had a nice spring, hitting .333. As he tries to make this club as an extra man, as a utility guy. 1 ball and 1 strike. You want to talk about kinetic energy. This guy just doesn't stop moving.
No, he doesn't.
Rosales will be followed by Tommy Joseph. And it's upstairs, 2-2. There's Tommy on deck. Swing and a miss. And Rosales trying to scamper away, cannot. So he is struck out for the first out. And now Tommy Joseph is coming up.
Tommy Joseph.
Back foot breaking ball. You talk about his energy. I mean, he does have a ton. He's always played with a ton of energy.
Tommy this spring hitting .467. And he can't hold up on that breaking ball. Rosales, if he makes the club, will be that utility guy. If he doesn't, he probably will wind up playing every day in AAA. But it's not a bad guy to have on your roster, even in the minor leagues, in case something happens up in the big club.
Well, they love his versatility, that's for sure.
Ground ball towards shortstop. Marrero played the whole game. Throws out Tommy Joseph, 2 away. And Cameron Rupp is coming up. Pitch to Rupp is up high. 1 ball and no strikes. One and one. That changeup. His arm slot is excellent. 25-year-old out of Cincinnati and the University of Indiana.
Now that was a good swing there by Cameron. Just clipped the bottom of it. That was shorter to the baseball than what we saw the other day, Tom.
His bat, it looks like it's set up a little differently too. Maybe he's made some adjustments. I should say Indiana University, by the way. Any of the Hoosier fans out there. 1-2. Tomorrow the Phils will be on the road up in Tampa to take on the Yankees. Back home again here on Friday. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball. So Cameron strikes out for the second time today. Phillies go down in order, trying to close things out when we come back with the top of the ninth.
Fans, be sure and hold on to your souvenir beer can.
Won 2 straight, trying to make it 3 in a row. Garcia 2.65 earned run average last year, as he will go to work against some of the lesser known Red Sox. You mentioned the Red Sox are part of a split squad today, so they're down in Fort Myers. They're trailing the Twins 7-1. So that'll bring Mike Olt up. Give some of these younger players a chance to see some major league pitching, which is what they have seen today. Garcia has allowed 3 earned runs in 3 innings of work. His last time out was against Toronto on the 4th. And Olt takes a strike. It's 0-1. Those are the numbers in Portland last year in Double-A. You might say to yourself, well, why wasn't he playing in Triple-A? Well, probably wasn't room for him. That's the first thing. And in reality, there is a difference, but it's not a drastic difference.
No.
Not anymore, anyway. I don't know if you guys felt that way, Ben, when you were playing, that there was a drastic difference.
I didn't feel there was. There was a big difference between Single-A
and Double-A.
A.
Right, because you're filtering all these Single-A teams into one team, basically, for each organization. And a strike 3 call. 3 pitches. And Garcia has a strikeout to start his outing. That's 12 strikeouts today for Phillies pitching.
It's a good slider there. Gets Olt looking.
And now Castellanos. That you were back here at Spectrum Field on Friday. The Pirates are in town. First time Pittsburgh has ventured up to Clearwater this year.
Getting back to that point, though, I wouldn't say odd, but a little different to have a 28-year-old. You mentioned he's now 29 is old, but to have a 28-year-old play the entire season in Double-A, I mean, that's tends to be on the older side to be at that level.
Right, it's not real old like if you're 46, but it is old for Double-A. You're right. Now his salary was not conducive, I would think, to Double-A. It was probably a little higher than what guys make in Double-A.
Right.
2-0 pitch. Broken back ground ball to shortstop Florimone. And 2 away. So a little kindling. And here is Marrero batting for the 4th time.
Sounded good.
Sure did. 96 up. That'll make you move your feet a little bit. So 3 balls and no strikes to Devin Marrero.
All the way back here. Not sure why Marrero wasn't swinging at that one. And you come all the way up here, get your ABs, and you let a 3-1 cookie go by.
Ground ball to third, off the glove of Flaherty. It's a fair ball. And Marrero will stop at first base. Took a big turn. That's a good effort by Flaherty.
Ball hit sharply to Flaherty's right. Able to get his glove on it.
I think it took that extra hop at the end, like a bigger hop.
Yeah, it did.
So Barfield, who has doubled today, he's 1 for 3. He was thinking he was getting a fastball, and he was swinging. He got a breaking ball instead, and it's 0-1.
This is a big hack. Was there for a second. What did he pull off that?
But it goes. Pitch is taken low, and Cameron can't get it out of his glove. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pretty good jump there by Marrero. It would have been tough for Cameron. He may have rushed it just a hair. That's why you have to go in and get it. If you start flipping it to your bare hand, you drop it. I've done it.
One and 2.
The answer is no, Tom. You were going to ask me if there's any need to throw another pitch here other than that slider.
It did cross my mind.
Hey, just make sure it's lower than low.
Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Barfield. In the dirt, it was lower than low. Hung up there a little bit too much. Tying run is in scoring position. The Phillies lead it 2-1. And now the 2-2 pitch coming to Barfield. Pulls it foul. I think if you're Rick Kranitz, as you chat with Gabe Kapler, you're happy today about what you saw from your starting pitcher. There's Hobie Milner with the lefty due up next. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now 3-2. This is an 18 pitch inning for Garcia. And ball 4. may be it for Garcia. They may bring the lefty in.
Good at bat.
Yeah, situation where you can do lefty on lefty. We'll see what Gabe wants to do here. Credits just walkie-talkied out to the bullpen. It looks like Gabe's going to bring in the lefty Hobie Milner. So pitching change here in the 9th inning. We've got lefty on lefty as the Phils try to secure a 2-1 victory. We'll be back right after this. Spot this spring, sort of the situational spot to get lefties out. His numbers last year really surprisingly good. Just kept getting better with the more confidence that he had. So here he is facing Esteban Juarez.
And he was used as a quote-unquote lefty specialist, but he has the ability to get righties out as well because he can throw that fastball, get on the inside part of the plate, get some of those righties diving out over the plate looking for that change-up or sinkers away. He has that ability to get it in on righties.
First pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. That's a strike. That's a good pitch. 1-2.
Definitely went around.
Marty didn't need help then.
No, he did not.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The sellout crowd try to cheer Hobie Milner on. Pickoff play is up at second base. Full 3-2, so the runners will be off.
Luis Garcia able to get the first 2 hitters of this inning quickly, and then running into a bit of problem here late.
Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. And it brings the right fielder Luke Tendler up. Tendler grounded out his first time up, his only time up, so he's 0 for 1. Fastball, and it's 0-1. Pretty good pitch to hit right there.
It was.
Bouncing ball. It's foul. It's 0-2. Tendler, 26 years old, out of North Carolina A&T, former draft pick of the Texas Rangers. 13 home runs last year in Double-A. Well, it's a spring training game, but still kind of a nail biter. The Phillies are up by 1, and the Red Sox have loaded up the bases. And now the 0-2 pitch coming. I guess they're seeing his slider pretty good to spit on it like that.
Yeah, they've had some good takes.
Tendler's high in his career at home runs was 23. That was in High Desert 2 years ago.
It's a good place to hit. Whew. California League.
Back toward the mound. Milner's got it. He's coming home with it. And the ball game is over. And the Phils secure a 2-1 victory over the Boston Red Sox. They've now won 3 consecutive spring training games. Well, it got a little dicey here in the 9th inning. For the Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, and 3 men left. It wasn't dicey, though, the first 4 innings, Ben, with Aaron Nola on the mound.
He was outstanding today. We talked about that fastball command. That's where it always starts for all these guys, and he had excellent fastball command today. The hook was there. A couple really good change-ups, and you got to like what you saw out of Aaron Nola today. He was really on top of his game. Good 4 innings by him. That is your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
All right, so 2-1 the final score. The Phils have won 3 straight. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.